Pittsburgh, the Steel City, built on a tradition and lineage of toughness. Tonight, RXTV and Iron Mag Labs brings you full coverage of the Muscle Farm 2014 NPC Pittsburgh Championships from the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall, bringing you the finest IFBB guest posers in the country. Now, let's join Dave Palumbo and the RX Muscle crew.
Black stripe, yellow paint. I hear they scared of it, but them pros ain't. Soon as I hit the club, look at them face. Hit the pedal once, make the floor shake. Sway inside, my engine roaring. It's the big boy, you know what I paid for it. And I got the pedal to the metal. Got you out here checking game, I'm balling out on every level. Hear them haters talk, but there's nothing you could tell them. Just made $1 million, got another $1 million on my schedule.
Dave Palumbo standing here with JM Manion at Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the NPC. JM, this is your stomping grounds. You grew up here as a kid. You grew up in this theater, actually.
Yeah. Well, actually, this hall is in the middle of the University of Pittsburgh, and I went to school at Pitt. And this is a historical landmark. Here's an interesting fact for you. Silence of the Lambs part of it was filmed upstairs here. Do you remember whenever he was in the big cage and the policeman was watching him, and then they find him hanging?
Yeah.
It was filmed right up in there.
Really?
Upstairs is another level up there.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a little.
What did they pick Pittsburgh for, of all places?
Silence of the Lambs was filmed in Pittsburgh. The entire thing. Oh. You know what? The killer. What was it? Buffalo Bob. Go back and watch the film. He's wearing an NPC hat.
He is?
He is. There was a crew.
There was great trivia.
Yeah, there was a crewman on there that was a bodybuilder. Had the hat. The guy liked it, and apparently they needed something, so he took it off and he put it on in the movie. Well, once continuity starts, they had to keep it in.
Wow, that's. Did anyone else pick that up when they saw the movie?
Of course, because everyone was like, "Oh my God, the killer's wearing an NPC hat," and my dad's like, "Yeah, whatever. We take whatever publicity we can get."
Even negative publicity.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed up on the wall you can see the Gettysburg Address. They have written right across the top of the thing. Every time I come in here, I try to see if I can memorize the whole thing, and I have parts of it. But not
I've been here
all
30-some years, and I can't even memorize it.
Now, you started here. When did your father first start promoting the show? Because I know he won this show one year.
He won the show in '71, and then he started promoting it in '73. But it wasn't in this venue. It was at the old Hilton Hotel in Pittsburgh, which is just remodeled. I think when you come into town, you'll see it now. It's the Wyndham. It's right behind the Point State Park there.
Okay. And when did your dad bring it here?
I think like around 1980.
Now, is it true that Arnold Schwarzenegger actually guest posed here at this show?
Not in this venue, but yes, he guest posed for my dad the first year. The second year by himself. In '75, it was him and Franco together.
Wow, what a dynamite duo there.
Yeah, and Franco did his strongman act as well as they did individual posing plus dual posing. And then I think from there...
What did Franco do strongman-wise here?
He would bend an iron bar in his mouth. Okay, he bit on a thing. He'd blow up the hot water bottle till it burst. Okay, and I think he did something else, but it was pretty impressive.
Now, did people understand the aura of Arnold back then, or was it just like, were they just like, oh, Arnold's just Mr. Olympia?
Well, because it's such a small community. I mean, everybody knew him, but I mean, Pumping Iron hadn't hit.
Right.
Okay, so nobody knew, and it was like after Pumping Iron hit, and everyone was like, oh my God, that was the guy that guest posed at your show. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but I mean, he had a lot of different guest poses throughout the years. Frank Zane. Mike Mentzer, Robbie Robinson. I mean,
people. Who brought the house down the most? Can you remember?
Franco's Strongman act was one of the biggest.
People love that, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just something different. I mean, Arnold was classical. Frank Zane was. I have stories of all this stuff. I mean, we could be here for hours. But someday I might write a book, or I'll just dictate it to somebody because I'm just too lazy to write it.
Yeah, that's it. Now, you did, and you told me this earlier, every job here. Your dad had you in here from when you were a teenager. You expedited, you taped the stage, you took tickets. I mean, how was that growing up?
Helped with the music because he wanted me to know everything what's involved with this. So, I mean, I laugh when people go, oh, you don't know what goes into promoting a show. Actually, I know everything. You just don't realize it. But I have done every single job probably that you can do except for cleaning the toilets after this is done and getting the diaderm and diaderm. Remember diaderm?
Diaderm. There was no Protan or liquid sun rays.
Right.
Like that.
Okay. But yeah, he had me learn every single facet of what it takes to promote a show.
And it's funny because I bet, when you first did this show, what were the competitor numbers? Like 50 maybe?
Oh, that was huge. Yeah.
And that was big if you had 50 people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you'd be like, wow, 50 people. I remember the first time we had 100 people in the show, it was like, whoa. I mean, now if you have 100 people, man, this show's a disappointment.
Yeah, you lost money if you did 100 people. Now, what is the numbers for this particular show? Do you have them yet?
Before tonight, there was almost 350 before crossovers, NPC competitors.
Amazing.
91 pros.
91.
Last year there were 72.
And you don't even have a men's open division in this 91.
No, men's physique, bikini, and figure.
Now let's go back a little further. You were telling me some other interesting characters. Gary Udit.
Yes.
Dr. Gary Udit, as you call him. Do you know that I actually asked Gary Udit to adjust my neck one time back in the 90s?
He's not that type of doctor. No. He's not that type of doctor.
He was a chiropractor.
No, he's not a chiropractor.
He said, that JM Manion bastard, he tells everyone I'm a doctor. I thought he was a chiropractor, but he obviously, you gave him the title of doctor.
Do you have a pay-per-view section? Because it might be a little explicit how we got the name doctor.
Let me hear it. We don't censor the arts.
It was we were flying to the junior nationals in New Orleans one year, and he was working at Equitable Gas at the time. Mm-hmm. And this is back when you could do anything on an airline flight. So they called U.S. Air, and they said, can you call the pilot and tell them that Dr. Gary Udit has an emergency. Can you put him on the thing? So they come on this. Now everyone's on this plane. My dad, everybody from the NPC. Is there Dr. Gary Udit? Dr. Gary Udit on the plane? We're all looking around like, what? So they called him up to the cockpit, to talk to his quote-unquote medical office, which was his buddies from Equitable Gas.
Oh, they were fucking with him?
Yes.
Oh my God. So you took that and ran with it?
I've run with it since, what year was that? 95? 85? I mean, it's been forever. Yeah. So, but the funniest story, I'm going to get in trouble for this. The funniest story was the expediter at the time and this was 85. It was 85. The expediter. I
hadn't graduated high school yet.
Shut up. The expediter was, what's the PC term we could use? A homosexual.
Okay. That's politically correct.
He came over. He was talking to Gary, and he's looking at Gary and all this stuff, and he's like, and I said, oh, so do you know our NPC Pennsylvania District Chairman, Dr. Gary Udit? And he's like, oh, you're a doctor? And Gary's like, oh, before Gary could say anything, I go, yeah, he's a doctor. And he goes, oh, what kind of doctor? I go, oh, he's a proctologist. Oh, hey, my dad's calling. I'll see you. And I walked and I left Gary standing there. And he's like looking at me like,
Gary's not a real talker anyway.
Right. And this guy's like, oh, you're a proctologist. And it has stuck ever since. Now, you're going to have to get Gary on film and ask him about when his brother called him and yelled at him for saying, how come you never told me you went back to school to get your doctorate?
Oh, so you fucked everyone with this thing. Everyone is snowed over.
He's Dr. Gary Udit.
The reason why I saw it is because you had it in every NPC news
and Flex magazine.
Yeah, everything I've ever seen has always said Dr. Gary Udit. So
and it still does, and he's Dr. Gary Udit.
He should just run with that, don't you think?
Yeah, and then I used to joke around. Remember, it was the Michael Keaton film. What was his first film? Oh, I can't remember. It was. But anyways, they said, what are you doctors? And they're like, love doctors. And I go, that's Gary. He's a love doctor.
Now, you had Arnold in the 70s. You had Gary in the 80s. Who is?
Well, you know what? Gary won it on this stage.
He did.
You know
Right
what else
on
Gary,
this stage?
You know what else Gary did on this stage?
What?
In his posing routine?
I'm afraid to ask almost.
He moonwalked.
He moonwalked.
He moonwalked.
Now he has a torn quad like I do. I don't know if he can
put
moonwalk
Michael
anymore.
Jackson to shame.
Really, I got to get Gary to try to show us this stuff. When did Gary stop competing?
I don't. Hey Ricky, when did Gary stop competing?
I think he can stop. The last time I believe he was on stage was.
Come here, Rick.
Here's the Nationals in '90.
Ricky, is it true that Gary actually can moonwalk?
Actually, he did. He really taught Michael Jackson how to do it. Way before Michael Jackson ever moonwalked. It was right before the '91 Nationals, and he was messing around in one of the clubs. So I'm dancing on the floor. He started moonwalking. Next thing I know, Scott goes to his head. He does it on stage. Michael Jackson was in the audience, and that's where he got the idea.
Gary Udit, who would have known? Gave it to Michael Jackson.
There you go. You got it straight from Rick.
Now, is this the stage where the '91 Nationals were held?
Yes.
And Kevin Levrone obviously won that one. It was maybe the best NPC Nationals of all time.
Flex Wheeler, Matt Mendenhall.
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, all in the heavyweight class. That heavyweight class was like a Hall of Fame, basically, for IFBB pros.
It was probably one of the best Nationals of all time. And didn't that happen at the last minute type of thing?
Yeah, there was. I don't remember the specific details about it, but the promoter, something happened, and I mean, they think they had like a month or 6 weeks or whatever to move the show right here. There was nowhere to go, so they figured bring it here, the home of the NPC Nationals. But yeah,
Your dad ran it. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember watching it on TV. It was probably one of the most exciting
yeah,
Nationals.
it was here. It was right here on this stage. So
Now this year, you told us we have this crazy lineup on the pro division. We have men's physique, we have women's, we have figure, and we have bikini.
Yes.
Now everyone knows that you're probably the most accurate. Lonnie Tieper thinks he's the Swami. I call you the Swami because you're the most accurate of all the predictors. Give us your selections in all three classes. Because men's physique's got Mr. Olympia here.
Yes.
Mark Anthony, you got Jason Poston, who just won a couple weeks ago. You have
Tyler Anderson,
Michael Anderson, who's
the Anderson brothers. Yeah, it's amazing they don't look alike, but I guess they're fraternal twins, right?
They must be. Yeah, one's white, one's black.
Yeah, something like that. One's tall, one's short. You know.
You have a great lineup in that men's physique. I'm almost afraid to even make a choice myself, but I'm going to ask you who wins this event.
If Mark Anthony is on, he'll win. If Mark Anthony's off, then all bets are off.
But you're the predictor, so who do you think will win? Will he be on?
Top five? Johnny's asking me for top five.
How about top three?
Top three. Okay. I'm going to say top three: Mark, Jason, Tyler.
Okay, you heard it from JM Manion. Now, your daughter has an 18th birthday on this weekend as well, too.
Well, it was actually Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
And Rico's birthday was yesterday.
No,
Rico from MC Activewear. He had his 49th birthday again. And again.
Him and I were in first class on the way back from Brazil. He talked me into upgrading.
Yeah.
And he was possibly the funniest person of all time to fly with. I don't know if you've probably flown with him many times.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the bikini division, which that might be the most competitive.
Wait. That's going to be.
All right,
that's
do figure
be
first.
great.
All right, let's see figure first.
Figure. I'm going to call this one for, without a doubt, Kamala Rodriguez McClure.
Really? Okay. Well, Johnny Styles we have some ringer in the show, Georgina Lona,
right?
Who might be a dark horse here tonight. Or tomorrow, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they've been working with her, and it's going to be interesting to see what she does. And I mean, now. Unfortunately, Jennifer Strobo isn't competing in the show this year. She was last year's champion.
She was. I remember. I see her here, though. She looks like she could compete.
She's doing a New York Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the timing wasn't right for her to be in it. But based on Kamala's placing at the Arnold, that's why I'm going with her.
Now,
and she has really turned into a great figure competitor.
Why did she stop doing fitness? That's my question. Because I liked her routine.
She was killing it in the physiques. Her routines were bringing her down. She's the opposite of Oksana Grishina, who doesn't do well in physiques, but her routines bring her up. Well, remember, right about the time she switches when they decided to go 50-50.
Right.
Okay.
So she thought she couldn't handle it anymore because of her routine?
No. It was suggested to me that she would be better getting out of fitness and going figure, because when she was an NPC, she would enter a show and she would compete in both figure and fitness.
kind of similar to what a lot of people don't remember is our Miss Olympia.
Yeah, Nicole Wilkins, exactly. You know, Nicole is still the only person to win at a national show at the Team Universe. She won the overall figure, and with the corresponding National Fitness Championship, she won that also.
Which is something that no one will ever do again.
No, exactly.
All right, let's go to the very competitive bikini division.
Wow. I call this the bikini bloodbath. There's never been, I mean, this is going to be as tough as the Arnold and the Olympia.
Yeah, why are so many people entering this show? It's like is this like a pre-Olympia type of showdown here?
Well, I've always said this about this contest, both for the NPC and the IFBB contest. If you want a good assessment of where you stand in this sport, you're going to get it here with the judging panel that sits right there. Everybody that's on that panel judges the Arnold or the Olympia. You have Sandy Williamson as the head judge. I mean, my father's in head judging, but he's around. But everybody here, so you have an Olympia Arnold judging panel, basically.
That's true.
Okay? And I was telling you earlier, like last year in the NPC division, by the end of 2013, 27 competitors that competed in this contest were IFBB pros.
That's a staggering statistic.
Right. I don't think you're going to find that in any other contest. And I'm not just saying it because it's my dad's contest. Yeah. But you're talking about there were competitors I know that weren't even top 5 in their bikini division that went on and they won their bikini class in a national contest.
That is pretty amazing, though, because you don't really see that ever.
Right. And, I mean, every year that number has gotten up, and whenever my father added Men's Physique, NPC Men's Physique, that number's crawled up. But I mean, like before, you used to have but still 12, 15 between figure and bikini.
That's a lot, because I mean, obviously there's more pro cards being given out now because we have more divisions.
Right.
So obviously the number has gone up, but that is still a staggering number. All right, I know you've been delaying long enough.
Well, and that's the reason that they're getting circling around. That's why the pros come here, because their ultimate goal, if they haven't won an IFBB Pro contest, they want to win. They want to be on the Olympia stage. Right. How are you going to get better? Well, you're going to go against the best of the best. Sure. The Arnold's an invite. There's probably, I'd say, in the bikini, I can at least think off the top of my head 6 to 7 competitors that probably could have been competing in the Arnold.
You're right.
Okay.
And some did.
Right, but I'm saying no, that they didn't get an invite.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but they've proved themselves with the contest afterwards. So they're very competitive. I just think that the reason they didn't get into the Arnold is because, one, they're not as well known. I mean, you and I and Johnny, and we see them, and
sure.
And plus, the thing with the Arnold contest is, the title is Bikini International, so they have to make it an international contest.
So they do invite people from overseas. Yeah.
Right. So, but I think that this thing is going to be tough. I mean, you have last year's champion, Yasaira Robles. She's defending. Now, Ashley Kaltwasser is not doing this contest.
Who's the Miss Olympia, right?
Right. Now, here's something else. Last year, Mark won the Men's Physique here. Went on and won the Olympia.
True.
Last year, the Bikini Pittsburgh Pro, top 3 in this order was Yasaira Robles, Ashley Kaltwasser, Stacey Alexander. Go to the Olympia, flip-flop Yasaira and Ashley. There's your top 3.
You're right.
Okay? Just goes to show. I mean, this is the quality. Now you add in Amanda Latona, born and raised in Pittsburgh, coming back to
I didn't know that she was from Pittsburgh.
Graduated high school.
California guy. I didn't know
No, she's born and raised here.
You, Amanda Latona, and Ruth Silverman. What a good trio.
Interview's over. I love Ruth. I mean, come on. But yeah, most people don't know that Amanda is from here.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, I mean, she's almost like the hometown favorite.
Right.
She's never competed here before.
Yasaira is in the lineup.
Absolutely.
She's been on fire this year.
Absolutely. And this is a rematch between the day. We're 2nd and 3rd at the Bikini International.
Is Stacey in this lineup too?
Yes.
I really like Stacey a lot. I think her physique is dynamite. I think she's got the most athletic looking physique of everyone.
And let's talk about Sarah LeBlanc. That's just won St. Louis and Europa.
Fantastic at Europa.
Yeah. Do you know why she did Europa?
No.
She had booked a photo shoot with me. Yes, you can book a photo shoot. You pay, come to Pittsburgh, and I photograph you. I just don't photograph the people that I know and work with. She comes in, got a whole day. Mm-hmm. We got a surprise visit. My dad didn't know my father was going to pop in.
And then you guys saw her, and you were like,
holy shit. He popped in. He had called, I guess, my house. My wife said, he's down at the studio. So he just drove on in. Mm-hmm. So it was the first time he got to meet her. Right. And he's like, hey, you got a suit. Let me take a look at you. And he's like, what are you doing next? And she's like, I'm waiting to do your show. And he goes, why? He goes, the Europa Orlando's next week. He goes, you can jump in right now.
She smoked that lineup too, yeah.
So she went and she called her husband to see if they could do it. I mean, we're talking literally, 8-9 days before the contest. And she was able, I mean, I think because geographically, because she's in Louisiana.
Sure, it wasn't so bad.
It helped.
Yeah.
Okay. But she wasn't doing that contest. She just came in and happened to see my
That's how good she is, yeah.
Yeah. So he said, she's like, what do I need to do? He goes, put a tan on and get on stage. You don't need to do anything else.
And your dad's pretty, ruthlessly honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, she's a threat. You've got Narman Ezria.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she's won some shows. She's already qualified for the Olympia, but she's going to be tough. I mean, there are a lot of
Top three.
Oh man,
this is your reputation right here.
I know.
On the line. Play some Jeopardy music, yeah.
Do 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 do. I don't know, because I mean, I think with Amanda Latona, since she started working with Hani Rambod, I mean, she's looking the best she's ever looked in her entire career. But I mean, to be honest, the hometown crowd doesn't mean anything, because these judges, none of them are from Pittsburgh,
right,
except for my stepmother. But
yeah,
she's only one of whatever in the highs and lows.
And Yashira has got to be the highest ranking person in the lineup at this point.
Yes, I mean, she's coming in, and as she told me, she said, no one's taking my title.
All right, so.
And then I just had Stacy, as you saw, I was talking to her there.
She looks dynamite too.
She just told me she was taking the title.
Oh, she was taking the title. Okay.
She's taking a title. I will tell you this.
Will those be the top three in your mind?
She told me at the Olympia, to meet the Olympians, she goes, I'm going to be top 3 tomorrow in the Olympia.
Really?
Where did she place? Third.
Top 3. After the Olympia, I actually told her that I actually thought she should have won, because I do like her physique. I think that she, something just grabs your eye when you look at her.
Right. Now, I photographed both Stacy and Amanda yesterday, along with Maria Nunziata.
So you got a little bird's eye view of what we're going to see.
Right. And, wow, I mean, Amanda, if you can believe this, has improved from the Arnold. But so has Stacy.
Tell me, come on. You got to put it on the line here, JM. This is your reputation.
I think first off, I think you're going to have a tie. Okay. But then we have to have the tiebreaker.
That's right.
So
imagine if he's right, that there's a tie and then we get a tiebreaker. That would really raise your brownie points or your status points up on here.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on the limb. I am going to go with Amanda Latona first.
Okay. That's the hometown favorite.
Okay. And I will go with Stacy second.
Okay. And third?
We'll go with Yasira.
All right. You heard it. JM, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. You're not afraid to hurt anyone's feelings. You always go on the line. You like me. You put it out there. You say, hey, this is my opinion. It doesn't matter. And let's just see.
And I'm just basing this on, seeing progress pictures, but also seeing the other two.
And obviously you can flip-flop anyway, because you don't know what these girls are going to look like tomorrow.
Right. Right. And as the disclaimer, whatever I say here doesn't affect anything. It's, it's not predetermined.
No, of course it's not. But you don't know what they'll look like tomorrow. But the funny thing is that, let's see how close you are. I wouldn't even bet against him in a million years. I'm going to go with the same picks. JM Manion, the new Swami, the historian of Pittsburgh, the hometown favorite here. Manion's Gym. Does Manion's Gym still exist?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain. I remember in the 90s, I worked out at a gym in your warehouse, your dad's warehouse there.
That was Manion's Gym? That was Manion's Gym. Okay. That is now the MPC Photo Gym. It's not open to the public. Okay. But it is still there. It's not the same equipment. It's all different equipment.
Right.
But it's in the same location. And the reason for these shirts is because I still had all these original shirts.
This is the original design?
I designed this in 10th grade art class.
What? I didn't know that. I thought it was just like something you made up
whenever
recently.
we redid them, I had them put my name on here because we never thought about that back in the day.
Trademark,
yeah. So I said, let's do some retro Manion's Gym shirts.
I like it.
People were always asking me about them.
It looked retro to me when I saw it. I didn't know that this was actually the original design.
Yes.
Very interesting. Now, how do people pick up? How could people buy one of those?
Right. Rico will have them here tomorrow, but you can go to mpcwear.com. Right. And we have originally we started out black with white printing, white with black printing, and then we have now the black with the yellow, the Pittsburgh colors, and then we have the yellow with the black.
I think people like the Pittsburgh steel colors.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to do originally, but I was overruled by my dad and Rico, but of course I'm right again. Well, what can I say?
And you got the matching shoes. There you go.
Absolutely.
Now, we also have the superstar guest posers tomorrow. What is there, about 8 guys guest posing?
I think we're up to 10, 11.
What, we got Rami, Dexter, Phil.
Wolf's coming in now.
Wolf's in here?
Yeah, and a couple other, I'm going to leave them as surprises because they've called my father, said they were going to come in also.
Oh, people that are not on the poster?
Right, just like Dennis wasn't.
All right, well, stay tuned
now,
tomorrow.
You do know that unfortunately Adela's not guest posing.
Oh, she's not? Why not?
She has a bulging disc in her neck.
You think she's faking it?
No, you can really see it when, you know, she was gonna, you know, the 8-time Olympia champ, so she's gonna give us a rain check.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that routine. So that I enjoy the fitness routines better than the bodybuilding.
Yeah, she was getting ready for it, but yeah, I mean, she has a bulging disc in her neck. So
well, hopefully that'll pop back in place.
Yeah.
For now, though, JM and I are going to go eat, but catch all the coverage for the NPC IFBB Pittsburgh Championships tomorrow. I guess you could say live in a sense, because we'll be doing the live play-by-play only on rxmuscle.com. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with JM Manion.